Hello guys, Robot1 here, and today I am doing the Future of Yu-Gi-Oh segment on my channel. And today I'm going to be talking about quite a few new cards that came out recently, were announced. And a card that I should have talked about last week but was announced during the week, so so we've got some extra cards plus the new Morphage cards that have come out. Because of this archetype seems like it's going to be really good because it's basically floodgates. Plus it ties into the it turns into the luster pendulum archetype sort of thing. So let's get on with this with the first card we're going to be talking about. Morphage Gestor. I believe this is Gestor. Sorry guys, I think I'm getting a little cold. So I'll try my best to sound as good as I can. So yeah. Morphage Gestor is an Earth level 2, scale 5 dragon pendulum monster with 0 attack and 1850 defense. It's got a pendulum effect and a monster effect. Its pendulum effect is, during each of your standby phases, tribute one monster or destroy this card. So it's basically got the effect that all Morphages have, that they destroy themselves if you ain't got another monster in the other pendulum scale. Well, no, sorry, if you don't tribute a monster to keep them in there. My mistake. While you control a Morphage monster, neither player can activate monster effects, except to Morphage monsters. So that's basically another floodgate that the deck now has. And I think that effect's really good, because it means this deck can actually hold up against decks like Pepe and all sorts now, because Pepe and all of that all revolve around monster effects, and that effect is really good because it can stop that. So this is probably going to be a very good card for the deck, just to be able to stop monster effects. As long as you're not going up against an Morphage mirror match, of course, otherwise it wouldn't be as good. And its monster effect is, if this card was pendulum summoned or flip face up, neither player can special summon monsters from the extra deck except Morphage monsters. So basically it's got the other effect of a Morphage that stops every other monster from being able to be special summoned except Morphage monsters. So that's actually a very good effect as well, because it cuts out the extra deck completely, which also stops decks like Pepe in just completeness. So this is a very good card in my opinion, because its pendulum effect is amazing, and this gets a thumbs up from me right away, purely because this card is really, really good. So Morphage Gestor is a very good card, and I think it's going to be very good for the Morphage archetype. So the next card we're going to be talking about is a Morphage Lux. It looks like it's mixed with a scorpion, a dragon and a scorpion, and it is an Earth level 2, so it's another Earth level 2 monster with a scale 5, and it is a dragon pendulum with an attack of 11350 and 0 defense. It's got a pendulum and a monster effect. Its pendulum effect is, during each of your standby phases, tribute one monster or destroy this card, like all Morphage monsters. While you control the Morphage monster, neither player can activate spell cards or spell effects. So that's kind of iffy in my opinion, because if it was you couldn't activate spell cards, then it would mean that they couldn't be able to set up their scale. But spell effects is good as well, because it means they can't activate stuff like, say, Upstart, any pendulum effects, Twin Twister, all of that. And it actually helps. It actually is pretty good, except for Amorphic spell cards, of course. So that's another good card from the archetype, and its monster effect is most likely the same as the others, which it is. It's, if this card was pendulum summoned or flipped face up, neither player can special summon monsters from the extra deck except Morphage monsters. So that's a very good card. This is another good card for the deck, but it's not as good because you can only stop effects. If it was stop spells in general, that would be very good. But this card still gets a thumbs up because you can stop basically any spell card you want in the game. So Amorphage Lux is a very good card as well. And the next card is Amorphage Plest. Plest? I think that's how you pronounce it. Maybe it's meant to be Pest, but they put an L in it. And it's mixed with a Hedgehog. Ugh. And it's an Earth level 4 monster. Dragon Pendulum, scale 3, 0 attack, 1950 defense. Its pendulum effect is, during each of your standby phases, tribute 1 monster or destroy this card, like all the others. While you control an Amorphage monster, neither player can activate trap effects. So now that is a very good effect, because it means this is essentially a Royal Decree, which is very good, because next format you're going to be, well, when we hit this format, we're probably going to be seeing a lot more traps like Mirror Force, all the Mirror Force cards, all of that, purely because battle traps are going to come back, in my opinion, because Pepe loses to battle traps, and you're really going to want to use battle traps. And also, when you think about it, this with stuff like Quaking Mirror Force, this card is going to be very good, because unless the deck you're playing can tribute summon, you're just going to lose if you have 5 set monsters, or at least 4, because you can't even make Xyz plays. So this is a very good card because it can stop trap effects. Sure, we're not using traps for a lot of traps right now, but when traps do come back, this card will be amazing. So I have to give this card a thumbs up as well, because this card is absolutely amazing. And its monster effect is, if this card was pendulum summoned or flip summoned, flipped face up, neither player can special summon a monster from the extra deck like all the other Amorphage cards. And the last Amorphage monster will be, well, pendulum monster we'll be talking about is Amorphage Nortes, and it's mixed with a bear. I think that's a bear. And it is a Earth level 6, scale 3, Dragon Pendulum with 2250 attack and 0 defense. Its pendulum effect is, during each of your standby phases, tribute 1 monster or destroy this card like all the others. If you control an Amorphage monster, neither player can add cards from their deck to their hand, except by drawing them. Oh, now that's actually really good, because this is essentially a mistake for the deck, which is actually very good, because stopping your opponent from searching is very big right now, and it will probably be very big for a long time, and this can just slow down so many decks. Because when you think about it, right now when we have Pepe, all Pepe do is search their deck like hell. This card can stop it just by controlling an Amorphage monster. So that is very good, and I have to say that is one of the best ones so far. Well, other than the Macrocosmos one, which is very good as well. So, and its monster effect is, neither player can special summon monsters from the extra deck except Amorphage monsters. So this is basically different because you don't have to pendulum summon it or flip summon it, which is quite good as well. But what I've seen from the Amorphages so far is that the high monsters aren't as easy to summon because you have to actually tribute summon them, but they are still very good. So I'd say you would probably use the tribute summon ones as a 2 or 1 of, and then all the little ones is probably most likely 3 ofs, depending on their pendulum effect. And now we're going on to the Amorphage Ritual monster, which is also a Draco Slayer monster, well, Draco Lord, and it is most of the name. Amorphector, Psycho the Vain Dracoverlord. Now this is a ritual monster, Earth, level 8, 2950 attack, 2500 defense, Dragon Ritual monster effect. Its effect is, you can ritual summon this card with Amorphage Persona. After this card is ritual summoned, skip your opponent's next main phase. Now that is just an amazing effect. Your opponent now can't have a main phase, which is actually very good, because when you think about it, most players actually make all their plays in their main phase 1 and then go into their battle phase, do things, and this can actually make them skip that main phase, making it just so good, so much better. So that effect, this is already getting a great card in my opinion, just because that effect. Its next effect is, negate the effects of face-up, fusion, synchro, and Xyz monsters on the field. That's great as well. You've got this effect now, so now they can't have the. This is essentially a unicorn in a sense. So we've got unicorn's effect on this. Well, kinda. And if this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can add one Draco Verlord monster from your deck to your hand, except a Morphage Psycho the Vein Destroyer. So this card basically says you can't have your main phase 1, you can't have any effects of Fusion, Synchro, or Xyz monsters, and I'm going to add a card to my hand if you kill me. That card is just amazing, and this card gets a thumbs up instantly just because of its effects is actually amazing. And it wouldn't be very hard to summon in Pendulum decks, because ritual summoning in Pendulum decks it's so damn easy. So this card is just amazing in my opinion, and I have to give it a thumbs up, hands down. This card is absolutely amazing. So that card's amazing. Let's move on to the next card, which is the ritual spell for this card, which is a Morphage Persona. This is a field spell card, which is also a ritual spell card for some reason, and its effects are all Amorphage monsters on the field gain 300 attack and defense. So we already got boosting attack, which most field spells usually have. Next effect is up to twice per turn. Each time an Amorphage monster you control is tributed, immediately draw one card. So basically, you tribute summon, you draw in a card. This deck tributes so much purely because the pendulum affects themselves that you're going to be drawing 2 cards per turn regardless. So that's a very good card. That's very good. And you can banish this card from your graveyard, tribute pendulum monsters from your hand or field whose total level equals exactly 8, then ritual summon 1 Amorphage Psycho the Vein Draco Overlord from your hand. So this is the ritual spell for this. This effect is broken. This effect is broken, and it's just this is just crazy because this stuff is actually making the deck gonna make Amorphages probably tier 1 and even better than Pepe. Because right now what I'm seeing is Amorphages are tier 1. They've got floodgates for days. Everything in the deck is a floodgate. They've got drawing, they've got attack bonus, they've got this broken ass ritual monster, and it's just crazy because this deck is so good. I wouldn't think we would see a deck this good. So this deck is just a broken pendulum deck, and it's probably going to be even more powerful than Pepe, Pendulum Magicians, all of that, because it's just such a good deck. So let's move on to the next card because of this card. This card's just broken and I can talk about it all day, but I've got 4 more cards to talk about, so let's just carry on. And we got another Amorphage card, that will be after. So the next card I'm going to be talking about is a trap card. It's Amorphage Lilis. It is a continuous trap card. Its effect is all monsters on the field except Amorphage monsters lose 100 attack and defense for each Amorphage card on the field. So basically, this effect already has a decrease attack effect. So you say you have like 5 monsters, all your opponent's monsters are losing 500 attack and defense, making it essentially easier for you to beat down your opponent. Its next effect is if a card in your pendulum zone is destroyed except during the damage step, you can place 1 Amorphage pendulum monster from your deck in your pendulum zone. You can only use this effect of Amorphage Lilis once. That's amazing! Because you can just be like, oh, I'm not going to tribute this, I'm going to let it die, reset the scale, and then I only have to tribute 1 monster that turn, plus I'm searching my deck and I have a monster to pendulum summon. That's amazing! The Amorphages are just getting so much good support. So I already have to say that this card is amazing because you can literally, you decrease your opponent's attack and you can reset the scale like easily. It's just such a good card. Looks like Amorphages are going to be definitely tier 1. And the next, just because I can't be talking about these all day because I'm just going to be thinking from now on, these cards are broken, I'm going to test decks and I'm going to have duel videos for you guys. I'll probably do a DN duel on Friday with Amorphages just to see how they can do. So the next card we're going to be talking about is True Draco Awakening. So it looks like it's the Draco Lords versus the Draco Rulers. Oh wait, no, the Draco Slayers versus the Draco Lords on the card. That the artwork looks sick, by the way. And it is a normal spell, and its effect is, if there is a Draco Lord monster and a non-pendulum Draco Slayer monster on the field, shuffle as many cards on the field as possible into the deck. Then you can special summon one Draco Slayer or Draco Overlord monster from your deck, ignoring its summoning conditions. Guys. Oh my god. You can literally be like, summon Paladin or summon Ignister or summon like that, then be like, summon this, and you can literally put all the cards in the field back to the deck. Are Konami trying to break this game even more than it's already broken? Well, Amorph just confirmed tier 1, guys. Amorph just confirmed tier 1, because look at all this broken support right here. All these cards are broken. It's like, I have nothing else to say. I'm speechless. Konami, you're fucking up the game. You're fucking up the game, Konami. But seriously, guys, this deck's going to be tier 1, guaranteed. So make sure you pick up these cards when you can, because this is just going to be a tier 1 deck. So, yeah, I'm still speechless. So let's go on to the next card, which is Rector Pendulum, the Draco Overlord. It's a dark, level 4, scale 5, 1950 attack, 0 defense. With its pendulum effect is, negate the effects of all of face-up pendulum monsters your opponent controls. So that's a pretty good effect, because it's like a floodgate like Vector Pendulum, but instead of negating the pendulum zone, it can negate the monsters on the field. And its monster effect is, at the start of damage step, if this card battles a pendulum monster, destroy that monster and this card. Now, I don't know what to think of that, because the pendulum effect is really good, so I'm giving this card a big thumbs up already. But its monster effect is, you have to destroy this card as well. Destroy that and this card. So destroying both of them to get over one monster, I guess it's okay because you can pendulum summon it back, but you're destroying another pendulum monster. So they could just pendulum summon their monster back as well. I don't like its monster effect, but I believe its pendulum effect is really good, so I'm giving it a thumbs up regardless. But I don't really know what to think of its monster effect. So, yeah. But I also wish this card was a tuner, because the Draco Ruler decks, because you're going to be using Draco Overlords and the Draco Slayers in Amorphages, that's pretty much obvious, but they only really have one tuner monster, which is the Draco, whatever it's called, Luster Pendulum, the Draco Slayer. So I think this should have been a tuner, because that would have probably made it a lot better. But yeah, it's got a good pendulum effect, but its monster effect is just, it's iffy. Ooh, it's iffy. But yeah, let's move on to the last card in this video, which is a card I wish I could have talked about last week, but it was released too late for the video, and I didn't know about it until it was too late. And that is Deskbot 9, the new card that literally just makes the deck so good and has a great OTK potential. And let's talk about this last card. So, Deskbot 009, the last of the Deskbot monsters, I would guess, unless they want to go higher. It's an Earth level 9, of course, because all Deskbot monsters go up by their level. I mean, by their number. With 500 attack, 500 defense, it's a machine effect monster, and its monster effect is, once per turn during your main phase 1, you can... sorry if my voice is going a little screwed up again, guys, but as you know, I am getting a bit of cold. You can have this card gain attack equal to the combined attack of all Deskbot monsters you currently control, except Deskbot 009, until the end of your opponent's turn. So that effect essentially allows you to get a bigger OTK potential, because you could essentially make this card like 12,000, and then just beat down one monster for game, because I don't think there's any monster that will have more than 4k. Because I could actually see this card going to 12,000. I think all you would need is probably 003, Machine Dupe, and yeah, just 003 and Machine Dupe. Because you summon 003, then 003's effect summons 2. 2 effect searches any pendulum. Then you use Machine Dupe in hand, target the Despot 2. Despot 2 summons 2 more monsters, search any pendulums, search a pendulum and a 9 if you haven't already searched 9 already. Pendulum summon 9, use 9's effect, 9 then gains however much attack is on board, then you can use Freeze effect to make it even higher attack, so it could essentially be 12,000 or higher, so that's a very good effect as well. So the next part of its effect is, monsters other than this card cannot attack the turn you activate this effect. So that basically makes it a bit more fair, because if this card can go so high in attack points, it would be very broken if it was actually able to be used as such. So this essentially allows it to be a little more balanced. Its next effect is, if this card battles, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects until the end of the damage step. Now that's a very good effect. That's an Armides effect right there. So you basically got Armides in there. So that's very good as well. So 12k and you can't activate a Damage Juggler or any of that. So it essentially keeps you in the safe. And its last effect is, if this card would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can destroy one Despot card you control instead. So it's even got a built-in protection. So it's got protection, it's got Armides, and it's got a big beat. So this card is essentially the best card in Despot so far, purely because it can literally go to 12k like I explained a second ago. So yeah, guys, tell me what you think of all these cards. Tell me if you like the Future of Yu-Gi-Oh segment on my channel. And please like, comment, and subscribe for more Yu-Gi-Oh videos. And thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you later, guys. And see you. Bye. Bye. Bye.